Hey there everyone, and welcome back to more Copy Kitty. Last time we went through some of the new levels in version 1.5. We're exclusive to that, and now we're just going to continue, I guess. In the Glistening Cave. Who actually made this level? Oh, it was Rybis, of course. Most of the levels are made by Rybis, at least. You know, at least he also does something in this game. Of course he does. I mean, Rybis is equally awesome. Just like Azure is. Anyway, let's try actually to go complete this stage and not saying anything apparently. Okay, so don't be ashamed. Don't be ashamed. Don't feel disappointed yet. There are going to be more enemies we still have to see. There's also one boss battle that's kind of a little bit different, and I want to show that just for the sake of showing what is different about it. Well, the scene where Tyrant, we don't need to deal with that. Mechanical Alley. Let's go mechanical in the alley. This also introduces factory stuff in a level, which before couldn't really be done unless you knew what you had to do in the text file editing, which at the time I didn't know. I still don't know, and I still have to yet make a level with this stuff in it, but that will probably come. I don't know, but it seems that I just tend to just make levels with no ceiling nor ground, which is kind of weird, but you know what? I don't care. And who made this? Rybis 2. What? Okay, well, at least I know which one, whatchamajoohickey made. Churnia. Okay, Electric Death. This is the Creature fight, as you might remember. I'm only going to do the normal mode thing of this boss. This will also introduce two new enemies. Well, not as much two enemies, more like two enemies. One enemy that got two upgrades. I don't know if it will show both of them. But these red guys, these red charge Desaros, are now actually an enemy. You see, these yellow ones are basically now the alpha version, and the red ones are the beta version. Now also, Creature will now also drop the Vine power-up, because obviously it's a big tentacle monster with electricity on its face. There's also a gamma version of the Charged Desaro, which I don't know if is somewhere in these levels, but in hard mode they will definitely show up. Assuming that one of the new levels consists of this enemy type. And they were also kind of jerks with putting in enemies on hard mode. You'll see what I need later. You can also see when you defeat a boss, Boki does a little victory pose there. The first time I saw them, the game glitched out or something, but no, that was truly supposed to happen. Okay, so what do we got now? Well, okay, with the World 7 stuff is all the same. City Skyline. I think this also introduces the one and only new music in the game. This track is called Banana Bastion and has two new variants. A lot of the other songs have other variants that are new. I'll just let you listen to this just for a little bit. Yeah, pretty neat music, as I would say. It's like of all the main songs in the game, this is my favorite now. So yeah, it's a pretty cool song, I have to say. I mean, all the songs in the entire game are really good though. Skies of Sindomera, I assume that's like one of the planets of Sonkela. That's what I assume, at least, because it's such an obscure name. And here you can see the Virs talisman in action again. It's really useful against the strong enemies, as well as the bosses, like this one, for example. If you just spam the fire button on an enemy that freezes like that, as you see, it had no chance. It basically just slows it down entirely. Oh yeah, that's also something. The Virs and the Dengrax, that tank thing. If they land on a platform, it will get destroyed. But don't worry, because the platforms will just respawn and... Okay, well that sheep sound just kind of did weird there. Also, I should probably jump out of this thing, because otherwise I can't really get up. I took 1 damage! No! That doesn't make this thing go in gold. Doesn't matter, I got it all in gold anyway. The only way to make it even better is just to improve all the scores on it and on the time and all that shit. Sky's Edge. I don't know how the sky can have an edge unless like about to go in space. Well, I guess that makes sense because yeah, this is actually one of the new background types. You can see it's space with a planet underneath. That's definitely the coolest background type I've seen so far. And I don't know if that's because it's new or anything. Anyway, here's also a new enemy. This thing is called the Nebwat. Props for the people that actually donated money for that, because most of the new enemies in this game were all part of donations. So whoever donated, well, props to you guys. I don't have no idea who donated what, so I'm just putting it out there. So if one of these guys are watching it, well, I'm proud of you guys. I would have probably donated if I could, but I really couldn't. Even if I tried, it wouldn't work. Alright, so now we're going to roll 9. Yeah, this is where it gets kind of brutal in the Dragon's Lair. For one thing, we have lava again. But we also get fire, so, or, well, flame, whatever. And the Dengrax makes it their turn here, so hooray. And yes, the Dengrax actually also has a Gamma version, just like the Virs does, so you need to get ready for that, mentally and physically. Did that thing just die in one hit? Dang. It must have gotten hit by something else. But that's the thing, if you let this thing go in lava, it doesn't take any damage at all. The Virs doesn't actually also doesn't take damage from lava, but well, it wasn't really as much of an experiment, more like just trying shit out with custom levels. But if you let a Virs go into a fire tornado, which you're not supposed to make in a custom level, so I abused text editing. But if you do that, the Virs goes just bursts into flames, and it's going to take a lot of damage. And on top of that, if you let him get into a fire tornado for a long amount of time, it pretty much makes it so that the entire screen is filled with fire. Maybe I can show a screenshot of what I mean, because it looks kind of hilarious. Like, I have one picture where you can see how he's in fire, and then there's also a picture of the thing being completely engulfed in fire, so you can't see anything, which is kind of hilarious. I ended up keeping that level too. But of course it's just custom level, so, you know, if Ezra doesn't decide to put that in the main game, that's just fine, because honestly it's kind of an impractical thing, but still. Anyway, enter the stronghold. Wasn't that... Oh, I almost want to say that was Chernya's level, but like one of Chernya's levels was like this. Like, I will say I have no idea which levels I've shown, like of Chernya's pack, because it has been so long that I don't remember that at all. Like, if I would at some point go back to her levels again, I would probably have to watch the videos of me actually going through that again, so I know which ones I have to go through and which one not. Because otherwise I just don't know where to go with it. Oh yeah, and that's also a thing. The blue power up that makes your shots go into a rapid fire mode. Well, that's removed, and well, for an obvious reason, because if you're in rainbow mode, you can just have the same effect anyway. So instead, what it does, it gives you a speed boost, which makes you go really fast. And on top of that, the speed that you gain from it also does damage to enemies. But it's also kind of uncontrollable in tight quarters. Battleman's Brawl. Okay, that's another one that I didn't show. So let's do that one too. Okay, how am I on time? 10 minutes. Okay, that's too bad. And why not? We might as well just abuse the kicking again. Because I used to do that all the time anyway. Well, the kick abuse is going to be even so much more effective because the rocks do damage to the enemies. Now, they actually also up your combo meter, which Azure did not plan, so she will have it removed by then, which is kind of sad. Because it made because otherwise it, like without that, it would have made some of the high score, like trying to get a high score in some levels, it would have made it like nearly impossible. Like the first giant boss that has dialogue, you know, also the one that has like atomic fire and shit. That one is like nearly impossible to get high score on because it's just like so precise and stuff. But with that combo thing into it, it made it actually possible. But she will actually make the requirement on at least that level, you know, at least more lenient. So that's good. Well, those were actually all the levels. This boss still doesn't have a hard mode version. Just saying. Maybe it will have one in version 1.6, but that will just I'll have to see that. That remains to be seen. So what the hell, we still got some time, so we might as well just tackle the hard mode versions of these levels. Because what the hey. And of course, because they're hard mode, it's going to be kind of evil. Also, I have to say, the AI of these guys, these shadow chicas, is kind of harder. Because it might just be my imagination, but it seems like they fire more often than they should, like before this version came out. As I said, it might just be my imagination, but maybe Azure can fill me in on that, if that's actually true or not. And now we need to go brave the elements in hard mode style. Wait, am I? Okay, I'm apparently not playing hard mode because those guys are still easy. Unless the game just glitched or something. No, okay, that was just my mistake. My mistake! Sorry. Okay, yeah. If I don't have a weapon, I usually just kick spam because it's much more effective and it just drives the enemy into the bottom, just giving them pretty much no chance to attack. It's kind of cheap, and I don't know how many people can utilize this trick, but I found this trick out myself. I mean, I know that there were people that were like, okay, how the hell do you do that? I know there was someone who wanted me to like do a little challenge trying to kill the fallen Gaelic Croquet with like less than 30 damage or so, and I succeeded. Also, when I did that, I could edit videos just really fast. Like, I still can do that, but it's just because it was a short video, so it was really easy to do. Of course, no one is really knowing what I'm talking about, except if you're one of the chat room guys, of which I don't know how many there are, like around 30 or 40. Tricky Dolls. Again, wait, I'm doing the normal version again, dang it. There was actually a beta version of this game, of version 1.5, but those were only for the ones in the chat room. Also, here you can see the gamma version of the Navels. Basically, their rings will ricochet twice, as opposed to the beta one, where they would just ricochet once. But on top of that, well, there are much more projectiles to deal with. which of course makes it much more annoying. Ow. Hey, well, why not? Well, might as well just stick in the spikes. I mean, if you're in it, it doesn't do damage anyway. Which, again, some unintentional experiments made some funny results happening when I made a custom level, which actually was, I think, just yesterday. Either that or the day before that. Anyway. Mystic Lake. Oh yeah, Boki's Inferno, which was the next level. That one had acid before, but in this version it now has lava, but I don't really need to bother to show that, because aside from that, the levels is pretty much the same. Well, some levels do actually have like 1.5 exclusive enemies in them, but the levels are in terms of design almost pretty much the same, that it's not really worth it. And besides, that would just make it too redundant. Then again, the time between this version and the last one was like, what, 9 months? Also, I don't know if I already pointed this out or not, but because this version was supposed to have much more content, but this version was supposed to have a lot more content, we ended up with less... Okay, what am I trying to say here? I can get my words out correctly, apparently. But because we wanted a new version faster, this version came out sooner than it should. Because of that, there's less content than we anticipated. Which also means that version 1.6, which will also end up being the paid version, that version will actually come out, from what I heard from Azure, it will come out within a month. Which is quite the difference, because the amount of time it took between this one and the last one was 9 months, and this one is like 9 times faster. Still, since Azure has a bad sense of time, it's probably going to be 2 months. Okay, I don't know how much different this level is going to be, aside from the fact that... Okay, well, I guess these enemies are... It's just getting to the penguin part. It's just harder, but not that much. If you just stay up there, I guess. Whoa! It just landed on my face. Hi there. Can I freeze flame? I'm gonna freeze flame you to death, like in Freeze Flame Galaxy. Should I make a level name out of that? I don't know. Well, I already made a level called Heat and Cold. I think that makes the gimmick plainly obvious already. Thermal Smackdown. Okay, this is probably going to be... Well... No, you know what? I'm not doing this. Because this boss could potentially take a while. Because of how hard it is. Yet at the same time, I kind of have a trick that makes him a lot easier. But this guy on hard mode is quite a thing. Anyway, what this thing exactly is, you'll have to find out next time. I'm such a jerk. Just cliffhanging it like that when an epic moment's about to come in. Anyway, see you guys later.